Batman is the nightmare stalking the streets of Gotham. He strikes fear into the hearts of mob bosses, psychopaths, and even the toughest criminals. He controls the shadows of the city with the relentless determination to outfight, outthink, and outlast any criminal daring to threaten his city. But what happens when those shadows contain a ghost? Hit like and subscribe for more superhero secrets and comic book stories. An explosion on a plane takes out all the passengers and crew. A terrible accident? Maybe. If not for Beryl Hutchinson, otherwise known as Knight, the Batman of Great Britain. Seeing the crew put on Batman masks and jump from the plane, she pursues. She is unable to save the passengers. And she can barely save herself. The villains leave Batman's name on the crime scene. The location of the terrible tragedy. Batman takes it as an invitation to investigate. But he is not alone. First to arrive is Squire, the sidekick to Britain's version of Batman. She's looking for answers. Batman activates his scanners. He casually puts on unusual-looking gloves as he talks to Squire. He has noticed the gradual drop in the temperature. Someone else is arriving. Squire doesn't notice at first, but there is someone behind her. Or maybe something. Batman tells her not to turn around. It's Gentleman Ghost. Originally a man named James Craddock who becomes a highwayman. After he is brought to justice and punished, his spirit is unable to settle and he becomes a ghost, haunting the living and continuing to pursue criminal objectives. Gentleman Ghost has been brought to the scene of the tragedy as a result of the horrible loss of life. He reaches into Batman's chest. Gentleman Ghost is horribly empowered. He fed on the fear of the absolute terror experienced by the 146 people who perished at the scene. Now, he might be a match for Batman. Gentleman Ghost can feel the terror in Batman's heart. The fear of failing others. The terror of losing those closest to him. Gentleman Ghost is feeding on Batman's fear. Batman doesn't flinch. He doesn't hesitate. He pulls Gentleman Ghost's hand from his chest. The Phantom is shocked. How can Batman resist supernatural forces? Batman doesn't bother with explanations. He delivers an uppercut that breaks the Ghost's nose. How is that even possible? Squire watches with equal measure of terror and surprise. Batman beats down the villain, punching him into submission while holding back his fear-draining ability until Gentleman Ghost's power has been used up and the villain fades away. How did Batman do it? Determination and the right tools. Batman's gloves weren't ordinary gloves. John Constantine, mystical detective and warlock, won them in a card game with a demon. Except Constantine isn't much for working with his hands. Batman has no such problems. He'll use whatever tools he needs to ensure he beats back the horror in the night. And when Batman reports back to Knight, what does he say with a smile? That he punched a ghost. So what do you think? Is Gentleman Ghost a terrifying villain? Or too easy for Batman? Was Batman wise to wear demon gloves? Do you think he enjoys fighting supernatural villains? Thanks for joining us to the end. Drop your thoughts in the comments.